Okay, I'm gonna try this again, and I had some technical issues at first, so I want to see if they continue. Then I don't want to waste this live because I have a lot of material, so I'd rather not waste it. Let me know if it's working or not. Is it working? Please let me know if you can hear me. Please let me know if it's lagging. If it's lagging, guys, I might try to reconnect later on today, because again, I don't want to talk and then this live is completely useless because nobody's understanding me. Let me know if it's lagging again. Please let me know, because I don't want, again, I'm gonna have to crop this whole part. Now I feel like I lost its money story from the live that I'm going to be posting, and it was very important, but I did do a video on it. Please let me know in the comments if you experience lagging again. I don't know, it may be where I'm at. Okay, you can hear me and see me and everything as well. Perfect. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Guys, the summary of the money story that I read, and I have a video on it if you didn't catch that part of a live, I just did a video before, is that when you offer no resistance, when you offer no time pressure, when you offer no ego, when you offer no desire, you will get the money. You will get everything. But you just have to pay attention in the form in the form that it comes to you, to pay attention to the vehicle through which it comes to you, to associate it and take the right step. Please watch the video about the money success story, because I want to move on to something else. Okay, I'm going to start with an easy one. This queen says, hey group, looking for some advice. I don't tell my partner too much about the work, which means I don't put things in communal areas, bathroom mirror, fridge, etc. And I don't use checks. It's not authentic to me to write checks. Any tips on what to use alternatively to simulate this exercise of the check on the fridge? I wanna address it in general when you are with a partner that you don't want to communicate this work to, okay? Remember, this work that we're doing here, if you're doing the 60-day challenge in my bio, or if you're part of our group and you're working towards something and you want to do some exercises, is very personal. I advise people, do not talk to pretty much anyone about what you're doing, about your personal practice. Your personal practice is about the evolution of your specific consciousness. And in order for that consciousness to not have all sorts of influences from outside, you need to keep this to yourself. Now, Queen, if you don't have checks, my previous testimonial was about somebody who wrote herself a check. I would say write yourself, make up a handcrafted checks. Guys, please don't call me. Write yourself a check. They craft it, you know, with pen and paper, and put it in your diary. Okay, put it somewhere where you see it all the time. Put it on the first page. When you open your diary, it should be there on the first page. You just need to be reminded of this. Put it in places that he doesn't see it. So I agree with you. He shouldn't see it. He shouldn't be like, what the hell are you doing? But you should still do these exercises and keep them to yourself. That would be my advice about the work. All right. Now, I want to read, let me see what else I have. Hi, Mona. I have been doing the 60-day challenge for 10 days and immediately manifested 1,000 euros in a completely unexpected way. My father simply decided to give it to me for no reason, and it hasn't happened before. My self-concept around money, work, and physical appearance is quite good. So I'm going to pause here and tell you, where your concept is quite good is what will happen first. This may be obvious, okay, as a statement, but people don't pay attention enough. If you're doing my challenge, the first results, it doesn't matter what you're doing it for. You're probably doing it for the area where you can't manifest, but just know you will increase your manifestation in the areas where you have the least resistance, whether you intend it or not. The problem for me has always been love, she's saying. Even though I don't want to talk negatively about it anymore, I completely broke things off with the guy I was seeing because he wasn't giving me the level of commitment I'm looking for, and I absolutely don't want to settle for crumbs anymore. For this, I thank you, because listening to your teachings helped me make this decision. I have two questions. The first is whether it is wrong to imagine a future with a specific person, clearly in a better version of him. I have clarified with the universe him or someone better, and I am absolutely open to welcome another person, but right now I have feelings for this specific guy. So to her first question, I never say it is wrong to manifest a specific person. I told you to make this work focusing on yourself. When you focus on yourself and your highest good and what you want to derive out of the relationship, you specifically, not what women should want in general, not these generalities or, yeah, I want to be married. I want to, of course, everybody or almost everybody wants that, as long as a marriage can be something great. But I want you to envision what that means to you. What does it mean on a day-to-day? You want to raise a family. You want to wake up with somebody holding you. You want your own space, but also just to know that somebody's around. What is it specifically for you? So when I say, I think you guys are overthinking it. But if I think about him, of course your SP is gonna pop in your head because you have feelings for him, etc. But as you understand and you love yourself more than you love him, this is really the key. When you finally realize you love yourself more than you love him, then from that point, you will also liberate him enough for him to see you in a different light, see you energetically, see you in whatever mental plane you want to think of this game as. It doesn't matter. The point of this is, do not desire a man more than you desire your own happiness. And do not associate it. Just desire your own happiness in the specific lifestyle that you want to be in. Okay? So the second question, she says, while listening to an old live broadcast of yours in which you said that if we want a partner, but we refuse dating apps, we refuse meetings organized by friends, and we don't make an effort to look for new people, there is a problem. I have always been proactive. I try to meet new people when possible. I have even taken the first step on many occasions. I have tried a couple of dating apps, but it was a disaster. All this going around looking for a partner brought me nothing except suffering. I thought that taking a step back and letting the universe have the opportunity to bring the right person into my life might be the best path. But the words in your live broadcast confused me about that. What should I do? Here's what I would say. Hang on a second. Nick, unfortunately, I don't allow distractions in my live. Please don't get on my live and comment something that is not based on my content. So she's saying she's trying to meet new people when possible, but it's just been a disaster for her. Here's what, there's 2 points here. The first point is, I didn't say you have to go actively look for somebody. I said you have to open all the opportunities that you know of in 3D for the universe to deliver it to you. So when you put yourself on dating apps, I told you, especially as a woman, you're not actively looking. You're not actively, going through profile. I never look at any of the profiles when I was online. I just dealt with the messages that were incoming. That's it. That's all you should be doing as a woman, in my opinion. And online dating is not dating. I don't know how many times I have to say this. You're not online dating. You're opening an account so you can meet people that you otherwise would not have access to. Let me say this again. When you connect with somebody online, i.e. you're meeting them, you're not dating them, you should not go on a date to get to meet this person. You should go on a date only after you met them and you determine they fit their profile, they smell normally, they speak normally, they're the height they said they were, they're the weight, they're the age they said they were, etc. Of course, you're gonna have disastrous circumstances and disappointments. If your approach is, let me talk to these guys for 3-4 weeks, we having this fanny banter, it's so good, our conversation's so good. I meet him, he's 20 years older. He's married. He's, who knows what else can come of it. Please do not make an emotional connection with somebody you've never met, and do not go on dates with strangers. Use online dating to meet people, to meet them for a 20-minute coffee. And if there's something there, then he can ask you out, or you guys can decide to go on a date. Okay? Because otherwise the process will destroy your confidence, your hope, will destroy your self-esteem, and who knows what else. Do it my way. I've asked the queens in my group to only online date this way. And of course, you can inform everyone that that, hey, guys, if you know somebody for me, I'm single and I'm looking to have a life partner. There's no shame in that. the one of the mistakes I notice that women make, they always pretend they don't want what they actually want. Okay, I don't know if society has brainwashed us to be like, oh no, I don't need anything, I don't need anyone, I guess if it happens it happens, but if it doesn't, no. You know what you want. If you don't want a man in your life, you don't. That's completely fine. But if you are looking to get married, to have kids, or you just want a life partner you want, don't say you don't want. Say, hey guys, you know, I'd love to meet someone. I have high standards, obviously, but if you guys know someone, you know, I'd love to just meet people and see where it goes, you know, see where, just be relaxed about it. Just be relaxed about it, okay? And then I think the second point of her she's making here is she's saying, it's brought me a lot of suffering. It's not the process that's bringing you suffering. It's you that's bringing you, like, you know, guys, I'm very honest with you guys. It's you that is bringing yourself suffering. Your perspective towards this has to change. The way you think of things, the way you think of what the meaning of things is, has to change. And you have to do it smart, practically, right? You can't put yourself in circumstances where, you know, the risk of disappointment may be high, right? Such as talking to somebody for 2 months, then meeting them and finding out they're married. No, right? If I meet someone and he's 20 years older than he said he was, hey, I invested maybe 10 messages into him and 5 days. I didn't invest more than that. Oh, and it's also very important, if you guys want to exchange telephone numbers, which you should only do if you decide to go on a date, block each other on the dating apps. You shouldn't spy on each other. Like, you shouldn't see, oh, he was online even though we had a great date. That's terrible for the mind. If you met someone in the grocery store and you weren't online, you wouldn't really know if he's online or not. You wouldn't really know if he's talking to other women. The only measurement of your dating life once you meet someone is how he treats you. That should be the only measurement. And you shouldn't cancel your profile either after one great date, guys. That life doesn't work that way, right? So you should cancel it whenever it feels right for you. And meanwhile, you should assess everything through the prism. Is he asking you out twice a week? Is he attentive to you? Is he saying good morning? Is he saying good night? Is he leaving you on red? Is he like, that's everything you should use to assess where it's going and how it's going, not what he's doing online. All right. The check thing we read. All right, now I have another love one. This one's really good. It got a lot of comments in the group. So I think there's a huge lesson here and a beautiful lesson. She's saying, sharing some SP manifestation updates. I was focusing on an SP, on a specific guy that I wasn't aligned with for years. I did my SP journal entry around the beginning of the year in regards to how they take care of me and make me feel. So she's doing the work exactly how I describe it about herself. Over the past year or so, holding out for this SP, I thought I had just to be aligned in order to receive. I would have several men come into my life. With any of that interest, it would fizzle very soon after because I knew they weren't the one. Many times I would revert interest to the SP I was stuck on. Every time I knew I was getting closer and closer, I could feel it. When I tell you, I can't really see this very well. I took a screenshot of my computer screen. When I tell you who was just brought into my life, I said, I want this person or better to the universe, following Mona's advice. The man that is currently in my life is not even comparable to anything I could have known or even script. He came in so quickly and snatched me off the market. He's everything and so much more. The most caring, thoughtful, intelligent, family-oriented, energetically aligned man has finally come into my life. Highly educated, well-respected, world-traveling. I could go on for days. My jaw drops daily on how the universe saw everything I needed. He is such a blessing in my life. Do not lower your standards. Do not settle. Do not think it will not happen. I was single for 6 years and all of my previous relationships were reflective of no self-worth. He has already asked me to be his girlfriend and he's talking about creating a home for us. Okay, so that's a very, very, very similar story to my story, my own, the way I created my love life. And I'm telling you guys, I'm promising you, number one is, if you don't settle, if you're honest about what you want, the universe will surprise you with more than that. It happened to her. It happened to me when I refused to violate my boundaries. And I was also single. Coincidentally, I was also single for close to 6 years, just like her. And it just, if you use this time to focus your intention on you and the life you want. I promise you're gonna have a story for me like this if you're single and you're looking and you're honest about what you want. The most important thing she says here, the man that is currently in my life is not even comparable to anything I could have known to even script. Why is that? This is because this work that we do here does not work like a spell. It doesn't work like a spell. I know exactly. I'm writing here, this is the man, blah, blah, blah. His height, his weight, his this. He comes and he's reflective of that and only that. No. She's focusing on herself. I focused on myself. So the universe has to surprise you with the changes that you made in yourself reflected in this other person. And more. And more. The universe is more intelligent than you. More, you think you know what you want, but the universe knows the subtleties around that description that you're making, if you're making it from your heart. I just want to see if I'm glitching again. So I just, congratulations to this queen. And I'm really excited to read these types of testimonials. Then we have another one. Hi, Mona and Queens. I'm on day 10 of the challenge. The last 7 months have been agony. I ended my engagement with my SP and we have been in zero contact. He just sent me a message that he misses me and hopes we can talk someday. I immediately deleted it and returned it because it's not exactly what I want from him. When I saw the message come in, I was not surprised, like I thought I would be when this happened. Thank you for listening to me and helping me create the life of my dreams. Yeah, so basically that's my story, right? Remember I when I did my SP story, if you don't know, it's in my SP playlist. It was the same thing. I told you not to accept anything less than what you want. When my SP sent me a message, I also deleted it. It wasn't like, I don't need any messages. Hey, I'm thinking of you. Hey, I miss you. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean things have changed. That doesn't mean anything. But because I went through this and I taught this, I'm glad to see I helped somebody take the same action and sort of realize, hey, this is not what I want, right? With everything that you're gonna do next, ask yourself, is this taking me in the direction that I want to go, or is it taking me into accepting more of breadcrumbs, right? I just gave her the congratulations on the other manifestation. Guys, 2 weeks ago, I told you this month, I want you guys to manifest a lot of congratulations. I got to show you because I was walking around downtown in my, I had my bachelorette party. So I was walking around downtown like this with 6 friends, and like on the street, I got like 15, 16 people be like, congratulations. And I was like, that's the congratulations that I was manifesting on steroids, right? So it was a fun weekend for me. I had, oh my God, I'm going to be married in less than 4 weeks to my SP. That's crazy. Is it crazy or is it beautiful? And I've manifested it. I don't know. Sometimes I'm in my own awe, like of the way things turned out. I don't know if my own awe or just in the awe of how it all worked out. I didn't think of all the details, but somehow all the details came in place. And I'm even not scared, but I'm even wary of talking too much about this. You know what I mean? Because some of the work has to be kept secret and kept, like in that secret joy and secret space. And please remember to do that also when you have these manifestations. Like, of course, you're gonna say, hey guys, I'm engaged and I'm getting married, I'm excited. But all these other little things that fall in place that leave you in awe, just keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself and just rejoice and be like, this is how it works. And how can I have more of it? And I'm very grateful. And it's just a beautiful thing. All right, so this week I have in the group pinned an exercise of do something unexpected, and I really like the responses. I didn't get a chance to respond to everybody who put a comment there, but basically there's somebody who just decided this is the week where I'm gonna open a new business, and she did it. And another one is like, I always wanted to go to a certain country and I was always waiting until I could find a friend to go with, and nobody could go with me. I waited for years, so I just decided to go. Okay, and so I found there was a lot of bravery in the comments that I got to this exercise. I'm gonna leave you with this exercise for this week as well. Please do something unexpected, nothing risky. Okay, don't risk anything, money or your life, knock on wood, or anything, but do something that's unlike the person that you are today, because we can only become We can only have things that we don't already have by becoming someone who has those things. And someone who has those things is not the person we are today. Because if we were, then we would already have it. That's the thing that we have to realize all the time. So I also want to talk about somebody who put a comment. She tagged me in a video, and this is like a deep topic. And the video was, she basically said, Mona.khad, what do you think? I think it was somebody from our group. But it was a video of this woman who was saying, debunking the Joe Dispenza cult and the cult of all this, you know, she calls them gurus who circulate and tell people that they can connect to consciousness and heal. And she said, I was a member of this cult for 5 years and it put me into spiritual psychosis. And she was just going on and on about that. So I didn't want to stitch it. I have no affiliation with anybody in this space, like not with Dr. Joe Dispenza, not with Greg Bray, not with anyone, okay? But I gotta tell you, when you really have to think about this, okay? When you look for answers outside of yourself, and you look not to God, but you look to people. You look to people like Joe Dispenza. You look to people like me, not that we're in the same category, okay? Do not label these people as gurus. Do not label this, do not look to them to heal you. Do not look to them to manifest for you. Do not look to them as, you know, witches and wizards and gods or anything like this. Really, guys, this life is a game of evolving consciousness. I don't say this enough, even though I say it often, but I don't say it enough. I probably should say it on every single live. Consciousness evolves through love and pain, okay, in a normal trajectory. Now, you can evolve it purposefully and move from a smaller box to a larger box, okay? You think of it as a game in which more advanced players, they gain access to a larger set of rules. So the game starts, there's a box of constraints that's placed in it by the game designer. You function within that place, but when you're born, you further constrain yourself in a smaller box, in that box, based on your limiting beliefs, based on your fears, based on everything else we talked about. And as you age, actually, if you pay attention to 3D, this box you're in, it shrinks. It shrinks, right? Like it shrinks further because there's more fears, there's more worries, there's more limiting beliefs that develop around you. And so what these people teach, Dr. Joe Dispenza or, you know, whoever's in this space that actually knows what they're talking about, they teach you to widen this box. And they can only teach you how to widen this box based on the way they did it. They can't teach you based on any other way, right? So when you bring your discernment, first of all, you have to understand what your goal is out of all of this. What is it that you're trying to achieve? Are you actually trying to expand your consciousness, or you're just trying to manifest a new car? Those are two different goals. If you're not doing this for the purpose of expanding your consciousness, his work is not going to work for you. If all you have is, oh, I have, you know, knock on wood, a tumor, and you need to go to Joe Dispenza for him to heal me, he's not going to be able to do that. Nobody's able to do that for you. Right? But in medical science, there is so many medical journals that speak, oh, we don't know how this was done. This was a miracle. And so they dismiss all these miraculous healings and everything that happens as, oh, yeah, sometimes miracles happen. But they don't talk about it because they don't want you to count on that, right? They can't replicate that. And they're not saying miracles never happen. They're saying, I'm talking about scientists, it's not something we can rely on, which is a fair view of it, right? So when you go to these people, do not then do a video on it about how he's not a real doctor, how, you know, like really he doesn't adhere to the most scientific journals, that, you know, he's using medical terminology. So the video went on and on and on. It's just, these people are confused about what can be achieved, what they're searching for, guys, the only thing a person like that can give you is a path, a way, an understanding of how to move from your smaller box to the larger box. Now, when you start expanding your box, your experience will be individual. You understand? Your experience will be There's no cheat code. There's no way to cheat the evolution of your consciousness. So for example, if you didn't do it with good intention, or the person who manifested the money for charity that we talked about, if she doesn't take the inspired action that would advance her consciousness, she's going to go right back into her box, right? And that's not the fault of Joe Dispenza, or the fault of me, or the fault of... Your path is unique and individual. Now pay attention to this, because I'm going to tell you what the paths are to advancing your consciousness. And again, advancing your consciousness means you will have access to a larger set of rules via which you can collapse the probability of a certain event, of a certain future. A focused and directed consciousness, that's what it does. It has the ability to telepathically influence the probability of an event unfolding. That's how it's done. It's done by the evolution of consciousness. So, where was I going with this? Yes, I was going to tell you the paths via which you can do it. There's really just 3 paths to evolve your consciousness. The first is the path of knowledge. No, not witchcraft, Aaron. The first is the path of knowledge. This is mostly like suited for the Western culture, for the culture in which there is a linear mind and, you know, it's scientific mind and it's all about understanding. So the path of knowledge requires courage, determination, it requires constant struggle, and it does require a considerable intellectual capacity also for it. This is how Dr. Joe Dispenza does it primarily. I would say 80% of his work, it's this. It's a lot of science, it's a lot of understanding how the mind works, it's a lot of understanding how you can exit your small box and moving into the bigger box. It's about understanding the structure under which it works. 1 second. Let me get rid of... Guys, don't get on my lives and comment stupidities, and don't interrupt me, because you will be blocked. So that's one path. That's one way. That's sort of the way I teach it, combined with the further path. So the second path is the path of service. The path of service is not really suitable for the Western culture, but the path of service is the path of giving. It's really the path of being in service to others all the time, like Mother Teresa. But the thing is, you have to do it from your heart. You can't do it from your ego. If you do it from your ego, you might as well not do it. Right? Like if I say, oh, I'm gonna go and volunteer at the shelter because then the universe is gonna return to me $1,000 somehow, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You have to do it from the heart. Like the way I come in here and I put all this content for not much reward, really. My reward is when I better other people's lives, and when I have these testimonials that I do, it's increasing me as well inside. It's increasing me inside, right? So I think I do it via the path of knowledge 90% and the path of service maybe like 10%, I would say. My main path is the path of knowledge. There's another path, and that's the path of surrender. And in the path of surrender, that's really about giving yourself to a higher spiritual concept or being, and surrendering yourself to that in it's not the universe though. It's not the universe. It's not like a mechanical understanding of how these things function. It's really the surrendering yourself into a space of being a concept from where you create, but a lot of it is whatever this being or concept takes you along. So it's not really so much about your goals. And this is the path of a lot of spiritual people in this world, right? The monks in Tibet, the truly religious Christians, Muslims, like the people are truly religious and believe in this. They take the path of surrender, and life kind of works out for them many times in miraculous and amazing ways. It works out for them. But again, it has to be sincere. So I think Dr. Joe Dispenza does it 80% on the path of knowledge and 20% on the, maybe he does more on, maybe it's like 60-40, because he does have a lot of release of into the space, into the formless, into the, what does he call it? The nothing, into the nothing, the space between the space. He has a lot of meditation. He personally does a lot of meditation in his own life and things. So it's just a combination of this, okay? Mine is more like the path of knowledge. I have a scientific mind, and the path, the service, maybe in 10%. You have to decide, how is it that you can advance your consciousness? There's only these 3 paths. And you have to really contemplate, which path am I going to walk? which path am I going to take? Don't be like, I'm going to listen to Mona and this is going to happen to me. I'm going to go to Dr. Joe Dispenza seminar and, you know, I'm going to be cured of my cancer. That's not what the promise is. If you do it like this, then you're going to be like, this is a cult. It doesn't work. It didn't work for me. It almost killed me. It put me in spiritual psychosis, because it's not honest from your heart. It's not really. When I started on this path, I was fascinated with this path. I wanted to know. That's how I know I'm on the path of knowledge. I want to know. I want to understand. And I want to understand as much as my capacity allows me to understand. I did a video this weekend about, somebody was asking me about some paranormal phenomena and stuff, and I explained about my own, and I explained how, you know, once you understand that this phenomena is not really beneficial to you, you can only use this advancement as, like, you don't have to have this out of worldly experiences, because they can leave you more confused than where you started. So I'm only using this really for the benefit of my life and the life of others. That's all. I am not really that curious of what's behind the veil. Guys, please don't call me. If you're curious of what's behind the veil, in my opinion, people who search too much for that, and, you know, they go into this rabbit hole of conspiracies and stuff, in my opinion, those people don't end up too well. They don't end up successful in what we consider successful in life. Many of them are not too long for the world. And a lot of them, they do end up living under bridges. Because, you know, once you have this awakening where you can't go to work and can't function and can't earn money and can't connect with your spouse and can't connect with your children anymore, you just, yeah. Rita, exactly. Waste of time. It's, do not look for people to do things to bring you your goals to you. Only you can do that. Understand that. When I look at anybody in this space, I'm going to go to a Dr. Joe Dispenza seminar soon. So when I don't go there and think, oh, what are the qualifications of Dr. Joe Dispenza? What are his scientific qualifications? I don't care about that. I don't care about the miracles he's performing or not performing. He's not performing anything. It's like some people are able to fall into a space where a miracle can happen to them. A miracle. Miracles are just science we don't yet understand, but we'll call it a miracle. When something we don't yet understand can happen to them. That's all. That's all. But if you do the work with me, the way we do it in this group on our level, right? We can pretty much understand. I provide an explanation about everything that happens, right? Like, look at the queen that manifested $1,000, right? I told you, if you put a sum of money with true intention and no desire and no resistance, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it very quickly. And, you know, it's just, you have to work on your ability to believe that. It's just that you can't keep it, because if you keep it, you're not gonna be able to do it again. So then that's also maybe a waste of time. It's not a waste of time in the sense that you have just proven to yourself that that's how it works. But now you have to understand how you can do it for yourself. Isn't that ironic, right? Guys, this is the path of stop being in this box where you hit yourself against the walls of the box and start going in a spiral. That's another way you can think of it. Right now, your life is like when it has to be like. You understand? But you have no control over the how. No control over your don't exercise. No control over, can we make a disease go away with just manifestation? What an incorrect question. I feel like I talked for nothing over the last 20 minutes. Was there anything else from you guys? I think I have one more that I wanted to read. Guys, you won't get the answer if you ask the incorrect questions. The question, you have to formulate the question correctly in order to get, not from me, from the universe. The universe will be confused of your question if you don't formulate it correctly. Okay, so I have another one. Hi, Mona. She says, I have another success story for the group. I just got into my dream school. So for context, I already have a career, mortgage, car payments, and just a whole life set up. So the idea of going back to school was something I had a lot of resistance to for a long time. I had no clear goals or desires to study anything specific. I just wanted a better job and my grades were not the best. So I didn't have the money or free time at the time to take a break from working and better my grades. I felt stuck. But around the same time that I found you and your group in November of last year, a coworker of mine told me right after that she was now studying this program in college while also having a job. And for some reason, it sounded exactly like something I would love to work with in the future. Now, this program is at university level with 2 internships, so it's basically guaranteed a job after you complete your study, which sounded perfect for me. The funny thing is that I've spent so many nights desperately looking for schools and programs to study so I can change careers, because I've had so many moments where I just hated my current job and I wanted to escape my situation, but I never found a program. I never once saw this program in my search, even once, as I spent hours at night desperately seeking different degrees I could do online. And for most programs I looked online, I wasn't qualified and I would have had to take time off my job to study. And somehow when I started doing your challenge, this program that I never heard of at the university just appeared out of nowhere and I was fully qualified to apply for it. So I applied in April and my entrance exam is in May. So I'm just going to stop here and say, the opportunities will be made for you. That's one of our 6 affirmations, right? In our 60-day challenge. Opportunities are made for me. Opportunities come to you. Forget about what you think. You already know everything that's available for you. You think you already know how men are. You think you already know everything and it's just all a disappointment. But in fact, if you start focusing on the work the way I describe it, things that you haven't even contemplated will show up in your life. All right, so she's saying, throughout all this, I've been watching your lives and imagining scenarios where I had already gotten into this program. I imagine myself talking to my boss and changing my schedule because I would be studying next semester. I imagine myself buying a coffee on my way to class. I imagine so many scenarios that would imply I had this new life. And today I got the email that I have been accepted into this program and I'm so happy and excited. And not only that, I will also get paid to study this, so I don't have to worry about decreasing hours at work. Now, here's the funny thing. I have been working my job for 6 years and I hated it for the first 5 years, but I've had a huge mindset shift since I started doing your work and I got promoted twice in 6 months and I feel like I love my job and I no longer feel this desperation to quit it. And all of a sudden, I manifested this program at university, which will hopefully lead to a career change down the line. I think as soon as I let go of the desperation to quit my job, I actually found an opportunity to change my career. And also, I'm just so excited because I bought a scripting journal and scripted that I was going to work at a company. And my colleague who is studying this program told me she got an internship at the exact company. She manifested it for her friend. Lastly, I want to thank you for the group so much because this work was life-changing. That was a long one, but they're both important. The first part about how an opportunity was created for her and the second part about her job. I think this is a wow, okay? For 5 years, she hated it. She started doing this work and things changed, circumstances changed, but it changed because of her. It's clear that it changed because of the changes she was making internally. It's absolutely clear because in order to shift the circumstances around you, it's not the circumstances that you have to shift. It's you. And then after you shifted this, and guys, just do the work with us. After you start, do not think about the how. Do not think you hate your job. Do not go with the first instinct. I don't even know if by the time she graduates this program, she will go in the direction of this program. You shouldn't even think that. You should think of, I will go with the best opportunity that happens to me at the time. So the future is not a done deal. You shouldn't think about the how. You should be like, this time next year, this is the lifestyle I'm living. I'm enjoying my work. I have a lot of money in my bank account. Be specific. I go on 4 vacations a year. I do this, I do that. How am I going to get there? Who knows? Opportunities are starting to open in front of me. I will go to this new program at university. Maybe I won the lottery. Maybe I'll marry a rich man. It could come to you any which way. Just go on the path as they present to you. Obviously, she has to take action at her job. She got promoted. That's great. Obviously, she got to a new program in university. It's just inspired action. Inspired action. along the way. So yeah, I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful story of understanding what the work is all about. Along the way, always check for your upper limits if you have setbacks. Remember, the upper limit is a very important concept. The upper limit is the amount of goodness you can actually tolerate in your current identity. When you have too much goodness in one area, come as a result of your work, my work, whatever work, when you have too much goodness, it's very, very easy to sabotage yourself either in that area or other areas of your life. Okay, like a lot of people make money and all of a sudden they fight with their spouses or what have you. Check if that's the amount. Is it because you feel good and this feels uncomfortable to feel good every single day? I've had this problem for a long time until I kind of self-regulate. I kind of saw it as the normal to feel good every day. And when I don't feel good and when I catch myself not feeling, not even bad, but I'm just not feeling where I know I can be feeling, I'm like, why is that? Like, I don't see it as something normal. A lot of people just see feeling like shit as a normal state of being a human being. It's not. If you take one thing, take this out of it. It is not okay to feel like shit. And I don't know why you're making that, or why we're trained to feel that way. So that's kind of what I had for today. I have other stuff too, but I don't want to mix because I think I went into some of the deeper topics. Remember that a focused and directed consciousness applies a certain pressure into the formless substance that will collapse a different probability of events than they are currently on your script. And this is what the work is about. You're trying to purposely collapse a certain probability. All probabilities exist as long as they are in your trajectory. No, you cannot have anything you want. I cannot be the president of North Korea because that's not in my life path and life trajectory. Do not try to manifest anything intellectually only. It has to feel like it's meant for you. Lena, if you're new, do the 60-day in my challenge. Do the 60-day challenge in my bio, and then join the group and listen to the lives. If you are considering doing this, listen to some older lives. They're all posted on YouTube and see if it's for you. I have a lot of free content, guys. My content, in my opinion, is different. It's sort of like 2.0 or 3.0. If we go a little deeper, it's not really, don't think of it as, it's the law of assumption, the law of attraction. It's more like just work on yourself, but there's subtleties to this work that are really, really valuable in my opinion. Change is not for anyone, especially if you're afraid to get in the unknown. Exactly, Miriam. Very true. Extremely true statement. We stay with what is comfortable and what we know. The ego never wants to let go. Ego is an energetic system that wants to survive. The mind wants to keep you in status quo because it knows to survive in status quo. Anything in the unknown is scary. Anything. Any tips to how to deal with grief? I'm struggling and it's hard to stay motivated. What kind of grief is it? Is it love grief? Guys, I see that a lot of people who are in grief and in feelings, okay, many times this grief is not really appropriate, honestly. Like, grief is appropriate when somebody you love passes away, when somebody you love has cancer, when somebody, when I hear people, I went through a breakup, I'm dealing with grief. Let's analyze that. What are you losing in this breakup? What value add was that person to you? Did you even evaluate him through the prism of value add? Is he providing value add? How do you convince a family member to get rid of their ego, especially for a parent? You don't. This work is individual. You can only change yourself. You can't change anyone else. You can, if you're a parent, you can guide your children to the best of your ability towards this work and in this work, but there's no guarantee they will take this path. If you lost your sister and you miss her, it's totally understandable. So you have to sit with this for a little, Queen. It's totally understandable. I find that when somebody we love passes away, if your mind is set more towards understanding a bigger picture in which there is a God, there is, you know, life after death and all that, it's easier. But if you weren't raised like that, the grief is harder. It is harder, right? Because the loss is permanent and irreversible. And you have to stay with it for a bit. Grief is love with nowhere to go. Exactly. I love that, Sandra. Thank you for that. It's love with nowhere to go. See it like that. See it as love. And may the memories of your sister, which I'm sure they're great memories, keep you motivated. She would want you to continue living this life in the best possible scenario for you. That's what I would advise. Then I want to talk about something else. Yeah, okay. So the group live, which is always on Saturday, will be on Thursday, because I'm going away this weekend for a week. And so there will be no live on Monday. Sorry, guys. I think this is the first time I miss doing a live on Monday. There will be no live on Monday. I will try to do some videos. I'll definitely be present only for my Facebook group when I'm away. So I'll have a live on Facebook on Thursday, and I put a pin in which to leave your questions. That's just questions and answers, and it's really in recognition that not everybody can afford private coaching. So, you know, if you have a question, even if it's personal, I will address it during the private lives that we have on Facebook. And meanwhile, I wish you an amazing week. Please don't forget to do something unexpected. I'm not going to give you any other exercises right now. On Wednesday, we will have dream time, as we do every Wednesday, to connect with our subconscious and to dream together. And now I want you to put your hands together for the 369. I am a winner. It's a tapping, and it takes about 30 seconds if you want to do it with us. If not, you can drop the live. One breath together. I am a winner. 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 I am a winner.